Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm All Things Wrestling, and today I'm going to be giving my comments, opinions, and the results of WWE Raw 19th of September 2016. We kick off Raw with Roman Reigns coming out to the ring. He says, "Last week I," and then Stephanie's music cuts him off. Stephanie says a couple of things, and then Mick Foley's music goes off, cutting her off. He admits that things got out of hand last night, but he says we are going to have a match, Rusev versus Seth Rollins tonight. And then Roman's like, "What do I get?" And he's like, "You can have Rusev in a title match at Clash of Champions." And then Stephanie says, "I personally guarantee you that." And he's like, "Oh yeah, thanks Steph, that means so much coming from you." And then Mick's like, "You have no reason to doubt Stephanie, she's always up front with you about hating you and everything like that," which she is, to be fair. He's like, "I'm only here because of Stephanie. I only have my word as a bond, and I'm going to fix what was wronged last week, and I'm going to give you a rematch tonight against Kevin Owens." Owens comes out and says, "Are you serious? Are you just working on your stand-up act for the WWE Network when your inevitable run of general manager ends? This match doesn't make any sense because I beat him twice." And Steph's like, "Whatever Mick Foley says goes." And he says it'll be a non-title match, and it's going to be in a steel cage. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns in a steel cage. I'm intrigued, to be fair. Then we go backstage, and Stephanie's praising Mick on his decision making, and then Rusev comes in moaning about the match, and then about tonight and at the pay-per-view. It's like, only because I've got a happy family and your Holy Foley family sad and hate each other. It's like, and that exchange happened, and then Mick Foley answers the phone, and it's Chris Jericho. Then we have the Rusev versus Seth Rollins match. Alright match. It does end up in a double count out at the top of the ramp. And then they go over to the announce table. Rusev gets dumped off the stage, and then Seth Rollins gets off onto the announce table, jumps off it straight on to Rusev. It was absolutely amazing, and so much risk before pay-per-view this Sunday. Jesus. We go backstage where Dana's showing Mick Foley all the four shoulders on the map last week with the Bayley and Sasha Banks match, which basically means I think it was meant to happen. And then Dana pitches an idea for a singles match, Bayley versus Sasha Banks, and the winner will go on to face Charlotte at Clash of Champions. And then Mick says, "Yeah, that makes a good idea. Let's have a triple threat match. Thanks, Dana." And then Charlotte absolutely slaps the hell out of Dana straight to the floor. It was brutal. Then we have a Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho backstage segment. Unfortunately, I missed that because my internet lagged and I couldn't get the actual thing to work until after that segment aired. Then we had Braun Strowman versus Sin Cara. Braun Strowman wins. It was a nice match. It's good to see him carrying on his thing. No Nia Jax this week, which was surprising. And again, she did beat the hell out of Alicia Fox. What do you expect? Then we had Sasha Banks and Bayley backstage thing, like good, reminiscing about good old times, and Sasha Banks just basically shot her down about it. Then we had a tag team woman match, Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Dana and Charlotte. Charlotte wins after Dana pulls Bayley's legs, tripping her up, and then Charlotte gets a big boot and got the win. Seth walks into Stephanie's office, and then we have Stephanie walking after. Seth said he wants a reason what happened. Stephanie said maybe Triple H was just tired of you ruining his reputation. And then he continues to disrespect it. He said, "Don't disrespect me, Owen. Do I think Owens has replaced you and better and that kind of general stuff?" And she went, "Yes." And then he's just like, "I think you started losing it, Stephanie, especially since Shane came back." So, ooh, seeds have been planted there. Then we had Bo Dallas versus Gary Graham, something like that. He had his weird poem and then he won. I'm liking the Bo Dallas stuff, to be fair. It's actually really entertaining, to be honest. It is quite a lot of fun. Then we had another best of 7 series. Cesaro wins with the neutralizer. Great match, actually. And then we go to Mick Foley backstage saying the last match should be at Clash of Champions, because obviously they're 3-3 now. And then Jericho comes in saying, "Mick, you're doing a bad job." He has a list of Jericho. And then he goes out a couple of times, and Mick keeps saying what every time. He's like, "Can't you hear me?" And he's like, "No, I've lost part of an ear." you stupid idiot. And Jericho just lists off another thing on his list saying stealing people's catchphrases, bad fashion sense, and then Mick says it'd be more if it wasn't coming from a grown man wearing no shirt and a scarf. And then he walks out, and then he says the world needs to hear the list of Jericho. Chris Jericho comes out, says Mick's doing a bad job, screwing over him and Kevin Owens, ruining the show. He does the list of Jericho, and he lists trying to drive a wedge between him and Kevin Owens. Never going to happen. Bad fashion sense. And then he looks at a fan and says, you're going on the list. Number 12 for liking Sami Zayn. And then Jericho says he's going to cross Sami Zayn off his list at the pay-per-view. Enzo and Cass come out. And they said they know Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho aren't best friends because he wouldn't let anyone wear a scarf and vest like that. And they said when they think of best friends, they think of themselves, Bart and Millhouse, Beavis and Butthead, Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn, and Ashton Kutcher, and a name I can't actually remember. And then Jericho said, Ashton Kutcher, are you back in 1998 with your Spice Girl CDs and your poker shell necklaces? And then the Shining Stars come out, promoting their timeshare again. New Day come out and says pretty much the basic of they have nothing better to do. Club come out and they're just like, we'll take your titles. And then Jericho after that says the list was about Mick, but now it's all about you stupid idiots. And then Sami Zayn comes out, brawls with Jericho, and then a massive brawl in the ring. We come back from break and it was revealed there's a 10-man tag of Sami Zayn, Enzo and Cass and the New Day. Big E and Kofi Kingston versus Chris Jericho, the Club, and Shining Stars. Enzo wins with the Bada Boom Shakalaka move thing. Can't believe I just said that, but we'll go with that. Then Mick comes out and he's promoting the Cruiserweight division that's just about to come on. And we have a fatal 4-way match for the first ever one. We had Rich Swann versus Grand Metalik versus Cedric Alexander versus the Brian Kendrick. Yes, he's still going with the Brian Kendrick. And it's announced that the winner will be get a title shot at the pay-per-view against TJ Perkins. After absolutely a phenomenal match. I'm not kidding. This match was absolutely amazing. The Brian Kendrick wins using Bully Choke to Cedric Alexander. I think that's the name of the move. Please don't quote me on that one. Then we have our final match of the night. Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens in a steel cage match. Wasn't that bad. Roman Reigns wins slightly before Kevin gets to the floor. Then Rusev comes down, does a beat down. Roman Reigns does a beat down on Rusev. Then Owens kicks the door straight into Roman Reigns' face, and then they manage to get in the ring, lock the cage. They're having a 2-on-1 beat down. Rusev puts him in the Accolade. Seth comes down, climbs to the top, knocks Rusev off the cage, and then jumps off the top of the cage straight on to Kevin Owens and Rusev. It was not actually a bad way to end Raw, and there is a rumour going round that the Shield are going to be reuniting at some point. So we'll have to see where that's going, but the seeds have been planted there because he came and saved Roman Reigns because he didn't even attempt to attack Roman Reigns. So, yes, I like that idea. Overall, it was a pretty good Raw. I can't really think of much weak things there. I managed to promote the pay-per-view even more that's coming up this week. For a go-home Raw before a pay-per-view, it weren't actually bad. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you later.